2 billion Muslims today have no central leadership. In a world overwhelmed by conflict, division and uncertainty, the question of Islamic unity and leadership has never been more urgent or more personal. With artificial intelligence now analyzing Islamic history, scripture and global affairs, we're using modern tools to explore how Islam can respond to the challenges of the modern world. What do the Qur'an and Sunnah say about unity? Does Islam call for collective leadership, or is the Ummah destined to remain divided? Why did the Muslim world lose the Caliphate in 1924? And what did Muslims gain and lose without central authority? Can technology help unite Muslims today without erasing the diversity that defines the Ummah? Could Islam ever have a pope-like figure, or does that idea fundamentally conflict with its core teachings? And is it time to build a new kind of Islamic leadership, not to dictate belief, but to respond swiftly and unitedly to global crises? Today, Muslims across the globe share deep struggles, yet our responses remain fragmented, individual voices unheard, collective strength unseen. This video doesn't just raise questions, it reveals a clear path forward, guided by courage, rooted in the Quran and powered by artificial intelligence. We'll explore how Christianity shaped global influence through the papacy, how Islam once led through the Caliphate, and how Muslims today can reclaim a strong, united presence through a modern Digital Islamic Council that gives the Ummah a voice the world cannot ignore. Welcome to AI Faith Journey, where faith meets logic, scripture meets science, and tomorrow's technology helps us rediscover what was once the foundation of strength. Together in unity, grounded in dignity, rising with one voice. The Catholic Church has long upheld a centralized model of leadership, and at its head stands the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, guiding over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. But the Pope is more than a figurehead. His words shape doctrine, steer political influence, and provide moral clarity in times of crisis. When he speaks, the Church responds. When he leads, the world takes notice. This kind of leadership brings clear advantages: unity, continuity, and global presence. In turbulent times, the Pope functions as a lighthouse, steady, visible, and deeply rooted in tradition. Yet such centralization is not without risk. AI analysis of historical patterns shows that concentrated power, when unchecked, often leads to systemic blind spots. The Catholic Church's abuse scandals revealed how hierarchical control can sometimes suppress reform rather than inspire it. Still, the structure provides what many institutions lack: a clear voice, a unified identity, and a global representative. But this raises a vital question. Why doesn't Islam, a faith even larger in numbers, have anything like a pope today? Today, nearly 2 billion Muslims follow Islam, a faith unified in belief but decentralized in leadership. There is no pope, no supreme cleric, no single authority who speaks for all. But it wasn't always this way. Historically, Muslims were led by caliphs, successors to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, chosen through shura, a consultative process rooted in Islamic principles. The caliph was not infallible, but he was a servant leader, entrusted with protecting justice, preserving unity, and upholding the faith. From Abu Bakr and Umar ibn al-Khattab to the Abbasids and Ottomans, the Caliphate once represented global Islamic identity and moral direction. That unity was lost in 1924, when the Ottoman Caliphate was officially abolished under pressure from rising nationalism, colonial influence, and secular reform. Since then, the Muslim world has operated without a central figure. In its place, independent nation-states, local scholars, and regional religious institutions. AI analysis shows this decentralization brought intellectual freedom and cultural diversity, but also confusion and fragmentation. Without a shared structure, the Muslim world struggles to respond collectively on global issues. Where Catholics have Rome, Muslims have regions. Where Catholics have the Vatican, Muslims have forums, but no flagship. This leads us to the next question. What did Muslims truly gain, and what was lost when the Caliphate was no more? The fall of the Caliphate didn't just mark the end of a political system, it signaled the loss of a unifying voice for nearly a quarter of the world's population. So what did Muslims lose? They lost global representation, a single figure who could speak on behalf of the Ummah. They lost symbolic unity, a reminder that Islam was not confined by borders or flags, and they lost diplomatic influence, the ability to mobilize a coordinated response to global injustices. Today, in moments of crisis, whether in Palestine, Kashmir, Xinjiang or Myanmar, Muslims may feel pain collectively but respond individually. There is outrage, but no shared voice, passion, but no coordinated platform. Yet AI also sees what was gained. The absence of a central authority prevented the consolidation of unchecked power. It allowed scholarly independence to flourish. It encouraged cultural diversity and local autonomy. And it safeguarded the faith from being monopolized by a single voice or regime. Islam today is not a pyramid of control. It's a global circle of believers, scholars and communities, each contributing to the whole in their own way. Still, the question persists. Is that enough in a hyper-connected, crisis-prone world? Or is something essential still missing? Any vision for Muslim leadership must begin with scripture. Islam doesn't just recommend unity, it commands it. The Qur'an calls the Ummah to stand together in faith and purpose, and hold firmly to the rope of Allah all together and do not become divided. Surah Al-Imran 3, 103. Unity isn't just emotional, it's operational. The Qur'an praises believers who lead through mutual consultation, and those who respond to their Lord establish prayer and conduct their affairs by mutual consultation. Surah Ash-Shura 42:38. This principle, Shura, guided the Prophet and the early caliphs. It's not about control, but about shared wisdom. The Prophet Muhammad also gave a powerful image of Muslim unity. The believers in their mutual love, mercy and compassion are like a single body. If one part suffers, the whole body responds with sleeplessness and fever. Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. These teachings show that unity is not a luxury, it's a duty. Islam encourages diversity in thought, but demands togetherness in care, consultation and action. In today's divided world, the question isn't just, do we need a leader? It's, are we still acting like one body? Or have we forgotten how to feel for each other at all? For some Muslims, the idea of reviving a caliphate brings hope. The vision of a united voice, strong moral leadership, and collective protection for the Ummah. For others, it triggers fear, memories of historical abuses, and more recently the horrors committed by groups like ISIS who falsely claimed the title to justify violence. So, could a caliphate truly return? In a way that reflects Islam's values, not distorts them? AI helps us look beyond the extremes. Historically, the caliph was chosen by consultation, bound by divine law and accountable to the people. The idea was never about blind obedience, it was about collective trust, rooted in justice and knowledge. But any future vision must avoid repeating the past. Modern Muslims live in an age of democracy, information and instant communication. Leadership today cannot be imposed. It must be earned. It must rise from consensus, integrity and transparency. That's the challenge. And perhaps with the right structure and intention, it's also the opportunity. Today, the Catholic Church continues to speak with a unified voice, central, organized and globally visible. The Pope's words shape headlines, drive policy shifts and carry moral weight. In contrast, the Muslim world, while united in belief, often speaks in fragments. Local scholars, national leaders and institutions operate in silos, disconnected from one another, and although the heart of the Ummah beats as one, its voice remains scattered. This difference still matters, because in our modern world, shaped by mass media, algorithmic noise and ideological polarization, whoever speaks clearly leads. When crises unfold in Gaza, China or Kashmir, outrage echoes online, but little coordinated action follows. Emotion is high, but impact is low. So the question is not just historical, it's urgent. Can the Muslim world regain a unified moral platform without losing its diversity? Unity doesn't mean uniformity, but when the world looks toward the Muslim Ummah in times of injustice, we should be able to respond, not with noise but with direction. Because where others speak with one voice, we often whisper in many. And in today's world, whispers get drowned out. While the papal model works for Catholicism, it doesn't fit Islam's decentralized theology and diverse tradition. But that doesn't mean Muslims can't build something equally unifying in a way that reflects our own principles. So if restoring the Caliphate as it once was is unrealistic, what could leadership in the Muslim world look like today? Perhaps not a single man, but a united platform. Not a throne of power, but a seat of wisdom. Not an empire, but a council. Digitally connected, globally respected, and spiritually grounded. Efforts towards unity have already begun. Today, national institutions like Turkey's Diyanet, Egypt's Dar al-Ifta, Indonesia's MUI, and regional councils like Bosnia's Islamic Community serve essential local roles. Global bodies such as the Muslim World League, based in Makkah, have broader international reach. But AI analysis reveals a critical limitation. It remains closely tied to state interests, often constrained by political sensitivities. Its responses are frequently delayed or symbolic, carrying weight but unable to unite the Ummah with legitimacy and urgency in moments of global crisis. A meaningful global council must be fundamentally different. It cannot be tied to any one country or political agenda. It must rise from consultation, not appointment, and speak for Muslims across cultures, not borders. A council must not merely exist, it must serve. The Ummah no longer needs more declarations, it needs coordination, clarity and courage. Today's valuable voices remain fragmented and disconnected. Imagine if these voices operated under one roof, a global Islamic council powered by digital tools and rooted in Quranic principles of consultation, shura, justice and mercy. It wouldn't issue fatwas for all. It wouldn't silence scholars or erase diversity, but it would respond swiftly, clearly and powerfully, especially in global crises. How would it operate? Digitally first, dramatically reducing costs through transparent online deliberation and regular virtual summits. Rotating leadership would ensure fairness. Funding through voluntary contributions or zakat would follow the principle of maslahah, the public good. It wouldn't require billions, only belief, structure and the courage to act. Imagine AI synthesizing consensus, blockchain ensuring transparency, digital summits connecting global scholars in real time. Over time, this council could build true legitimacy, not by claiming authority, but by earning trust. The goal? Not controlling thought, but clarifying positions, not competing with national voices, but amplifying the moral voice of the Ummah, not seeking power, but restoring our global presence. In an age where voices multiply but unity fades, such a council offers not centralized power but centralized purpose. Perhaps it's finally time, not for the loudest, but for the wisest among us to speak together. This video wasn't just about comparing religions. It was about identity, leadership and the future of nearly 2 billion Muslims. The Catholic Church has a pope. The Muslim world has no single leader, but it has something greater, a legacy of unity built on revelation, trust and shared responsibility. We've seen what was lost when the Caliphate ended. We've seen what was gained through decentralization. And we've imagined what could come next, not a throne, but a platform. With artificial intelligence helping us reflect on the past and imagine the future, the next step isn't technical, it's spiritual. And it should begin with us, the believers. There is no more room to wait for someone else to act. There is no more space for passivity. No sincere Muslim can say, "I don't care," and turn away from those who are suffering. This is how we respond, together, regrouped as one voice. Leave a comment below. Let it be known that this vision has support. When it's visible, it becomes harder to ignore and easier to build. Share this video, not just online, but in your circles, your mosques, your communities. Let it be a first step. Let it become direction. This message needs to reach those in positions of influence. It's time for our leaders to start connecting. We can't waste another moment. This is the duty of our deen. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11. Like, comment, and subscribe, because one day we shouldn't have to say we couldn't do anything.